but his art in that book is just different, like kind of funny and goofy, but it's supposed to be. So, but his Captain Marvel right here looks pretty good. Like, oh man, maybe he should be drawing stuff. Gwenpool. And then it's got all these numbers.
I got everything.
All these art changes for the Legacy books, like I've never heard of any of these people. The people doing X-Men Blue, the people doing Luke Cage, none of the regular artists are doing any of these Legacy books. And it's all people you've never heard of before. And I'm like, Jesus, this is already off to a bad start. Like
All right, I'll get going here. All right, here we go. Got to start going. All right, guys, welcome to the Marvel Madness Comics Podcast. This is going to be episode 14. I am Brandon, of course, joined by fellow co-host Trevitt. How we doing, Trevitt?
Not bad, not bad. Pretty good.
I just got off back from my mini Game of Thrones trip over at my buddy's house on Sunday, so we're ready to do this.
How was tonight's episode?
It's pretty intense. You got to watch all the way to the end. Yeah,
I'm going to watch it after this.
Kind of follows the formula of the first three, but you know, like a bunch of talking in the beginning and then you get your action scene at the end.
Yeah.
But this one was my favorite so far, so that's all I'll say. So yeah, you got that to look forward to when we get off here. But we're gonna run through how we do things for you guys, for new people and returning listeners. Gonna get into the books that we're gonna cover, some news. We got some characters to highlight in the midpoint marvelous facts and all the regular nonsense for you guys. But we're going to get into things here, start things off with our mission statement. We got 3 books on tap for you today, so a light week for us. We're going to bring you guys those 3 books with the goal of providing you a bit of a glimpse into the Marvel comic book universe. In between our talking a few books, we do spit the bit a little bit about latest news, again, titles, characters, fun facts, general things that go on in this Earth Prime main universe of Marvel U. Trevitt and I try to cover a variety of titles each month, you know, try to avoid any repetitiveness and the same thing over and over in an attempt to keep things fresh for you guys and informative for the listeners. The books are divided up into the following categories each week. I take care of Spider books, and we're going to do Spider-Man 19. I keep putting 18 on everything. So I've been wrong all week long. It is 19. Yeah, that's which one we're going to do. That's the Miles Morales title as far as the Spider family goes. Trevitt, you're going to do the... What are you going to cover today?
I'm going to do X-Men Gold number 9.
X-Men Gold number 9 for IVX. I haven't read that one since about 6, so this is revisiting old ground for me this week. And then we got Hero Family, where we kind of put a tag team effort in. And that's going to be Generations Hulk number 1. And then there's no event book this week. We got Generations Hulk lumped into Hero Family. No Secret Empire, so we're going to take a week off in preparation for next week when Secret Empire picks back up. But we rate and cover all these titles, honestly, just personal opinion. We tell you to buy it, borrow it, or to forget it altogether, which is the short way of us telling you to either go purchase the book now, get like a digital code for free from a friend, or borrow their issue and thumb through it, or forget it altogether means don't drop a dime on the book. Don't even have your friend bother to sum it up for you because you're not missing anything. As far as contact stuff goes, guys, if you're looking to get a hold of us, Twitter's been the best and most successful way so far. And you can find us there at Madness Marvel 1. DMs are open for business. You can shoot us whatever you're thinking. We'll read it on the podcast. We like to share new comic book day polls, so tag us in those if you get books on Wednesday or any day of the week. And then we do throw some digital codes around out there. There were 2 this week. Usually from my end, it's going to be spider-related things. So that's kind of been the abundance of stuff up there lately. But I do got some X-Men stuff I got to thumb through and get up there too. So look for some of that. We got all the basic bit stuff covered and out of the way. We're going to get to the new stuff and Trevitt's news section. We're going to lead into that with our clever little jingle. Hang on here a second while we play that.
NBC.
All right. We're back with some news and things happening in the Marvel Universe. Kind of a light week unless you found things I didn't find. So
I didn't find anything.
What do you got for us?
Well, first up, I got some changes to some Marvel Legacy titles. First up is Luke Cage 166 was solicited to be drawn by Nelson Blake II. And it's not going to be drawn by him, which is a bummer because I like Nelson Blake. It's going to be drawn by Guillermo Sana, whoever the fuck that is, because I have.
Are these the first issues of the, or is this like the second issue of these bi-monthlies coming out, or what?
This is the first. All the books that are being pushed bi-monthly are gonna be, or bi-weekly, whatever, are gonna be monthly now. All books are going monthly, and Marvel completely changed their release schedule with Legacy. So if anybody who's read all their Marvel comics this week would notice that in a bunch of the issues in the middle, it had the first month of Marvel Legacy, and you could see that all the books are going to be monthly because like the first week there's only like 4 or 5 books coming out, and then the week it's going to be like DC Universe Rebirth. Like remember when Rebirth started and it was like 5 books one week, 6 books another? It's going to be like that. Yeah, so it's going to go way down. So this way, maybe they're hoping, people will buy all 5 Marvel Legacy titles or 6 that come out that week because it'll be a lot cheaper. But, I mean, I've never heard of Guillermo Sana. So, I mean, you're going to start off all these monthly titles with artists that nobody's ever heard of. Hopefully his art's good. I don't know if it's going to be as good as Nelson Blake. His art's really good. But there's another change. Jessica Jones, number 12. Instead of Michael Gaydos, who did the whole entire Alias series, who's done every single issue of Jessica Jones, he's not going to be doing this issue of Jessica Jones. Javier Pulido is going to be doing Jessica Jones number 12, which is weird because Michael Gaydos, there has never been an issue of Alias or Jessica Jones that has not been done by Michael Gaydos. And now Marvel Legacy, the first issue of Jessica Jones, whoever the fuck Javier Pulido is.
Do you read Jessica Jones at all or no?
No, I'm trying to catch up. I'm on my 3rd trade of Alias. I have 1 more to go, and then I'll be at the current series. But it's kind of a bummer because
I've never read it. I've just seen this art, so I don't know the dude by name that you're referring to. If you didn't say Jessica Jones, I wouldn't know the art style you're talking about. But it is like super unique, so it is weird they get somebody else to come on.
It's really weird, especially with the 2 series behind, like the series behind it, the most popular one, Alias. That was all done by him, and then all 11 issues up until now were done by him. So it's just kind of weird that they're switching artists now, and it's gonna feel weird because I don't know about this current Jessica Jones series, but Alias is really, really good. But
yeah, I'm surprised actually that Jessica Jones is still going on because I don't know, like usually I don't know. I feel like those are always been kind of a limited series type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the first one ran for like 20-something issues, or the first trade was 9 issues. The second trade was like 6 or 7, and there's only 4 trades altogether. So I think it's probably between like 18 and 22 issues. But it's that's weird. Hulk number 10, Incredible Hulk. I thought it was going back to being called the Incredible Hulk. Oh no, wait, this is She-Hulk. She-Hulk.
Yeah, which it's gonna be She-Hulk. Yeah,
which I thought was gonna go back to She-Hulk, but now like I saw some advertisements that say Hulk. Get your shit together. If it's gonna be She-Hulk, let it be She-Hulk.
Maybe it's gonna change later on down the line, like you said. Maybe this is just a regular solicit for that title, and it's not gonna hit Legacy until a couple months down the line.
Because this She-Hulk series up so far, it's been called Hulk, but the first trade that came out of the first 5 issues is titled She-Hulk. So it's so fucking weird.
Yeah,
the trade name is called She-Hulk, but the single issue series is called Hulk. So the previously solicited artist of Julian Lopez Velarde is being replaced by Francesco Gaston. I don't know who either of those people are. I stopped reading She-Hulk, so I don't care. But It can't. I don't know, because She-Hulk's always had like a quirky kind of art style, whether it be like Charles Soule or Dan Slott or whoever's writing it at the time. I like She-Hulk. The series started off kind of interesting, but then it was very slow moving. So across, I just dropped it. But I still have a few issues on my tablet to catch up on. I think at this point, I think she doesn't turn green anymore. She turns gray,
She's
and
gray.
and she's like a rage beast now, like regular Hulk. She's not like in control of her faculties. Like she can't control herself. So, and last one, X-Men Blue, very like a bummer news. It was solicited that Giovanni Valletta was going to be penciling it, and it's now going to be Douglas Franchen, whoever these people are, because up until now we've had Corey Smith, we've had Jorge Molina. I don't know who these guys are, but like they got to stop playing around with these art teams. Like, give us a solid art team on a book.
Yeah, just some consistency. I don't even care who you pick as
System.
the art team. I just like to
No.
see, like when you pick up a trade, the same art throughout a trade. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in it. I don't
And
really like I should, you know.
it's X-Men Blue number 11, and what are they at now? They're at 8 now, so there's 9 and 10 left. I think that's going to take us through Secret Empire because it's still bi-weekly. It's just weird. I mean, if these titles are going monthly, why can't like Jorge Molina just be the artist of X-Men Blue, and it's going to be a monthly title? He'll be doing every issue now. Like, well, what's wrong with that? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I
Who
don't know.
knows? Creative teams just keep changing and changing. Next bit of news we got coming up is Marvel how to draw covers. So for Marvel Legacy, Chip Zdarsky is going to be doing some how to draw covers. We got a Black Panther cover. It shows the stages, the 6 stages of how to draw the face. So, you start off with the oval.
Yeah, they always used to be in like the Sunday comics. We always used to have one in our Sunday comics. It would be
Oh,
not
really?
not a Marvel character, but
But a character, yeah.
like just a different cartoon character or whatever every week. And I always used to do them when I was a kid, to be honest.
So they got Black Panther, Captain Marvel number 125, Black Panther number 166. It's kind of cool to say that out loud now that you think about it. Like those big numbers, like 166 issues of Black Panther. That's crazy.
The one thing that pisses me off about, like, because we've mentioned probably in news the last 3 weeks, like all these different variant covers that are going to be around for Marvel Legacy. And to be honest with you, like DC, I get a mix from the store that I go to, but Marvel, I never get anything but the main cover, and I never even see anything but the main cover because I feel like either the place I go to doesn't want to jump through the hoops to get all their different variants, or like they're priced on a wall a little more than they are on, the regular table when the weekly releases are out. So I don't ever really pay attention to them.
That happens at my store. Like Marvel will do like 2 to 5 variants for any issue. It doesn't matter. It could be like a 26 or a 2. It doesn't matter. Anywhere between 2 to like 5 variants. Sometimes my comic book store will get just one particular variant, or it gets 3 variants with the original, or it just gets 1 variant, or it just gets the original. It comes in all messed up. But I only like to get original covers when I buy my books. I don't want variant covers. I want them all to be by the same artist. Like if all covers are Mike Deodato, I want all the Deodato covers. I don't want the randomness of it. But that's what I like about DC, is that they either do 1 variant or no variant, unless it's an event book where it's like Metal. They have 3 variants, but it's like Jim Lee, Andy Kubert, and then like Greg Capullo. So I mean that's completely acceptable. But when you just throw up like random hip hop cover variants and fucking blank variants so someone can draw on it, or a how to draw variant, or
I get
figures.
bored too.
Yeah, it gets a little out of hand, but that's Marvel's thing. They're all about the variant covers. So, and that's the end of the news.
Anything else there? Is that it? Yeah,
that's it.
That's all
Nothing
I found
else.
too.
There's something going on.
So yeah, that'll wrap up the news here. We're gonna play a little song here, transition onto the books. We're gonna kick off the first section with Spider-Man 19 and X-Men Gold number 9, and then we'll be back with you guys. All right, so we're going to kick things off here with Spider-Man 19. So this is the Miles Morales title. We're going to kick the solicit here around for you, and then we're going to get into whether you should buy, borrow, or forget this title altogether. This has personally been one I've been following for a long time, but haven't done yet on the podcast. So I was looking forward to it. I caught up on 18 and 19 this week. I was a little behind in it. But yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't want to spill the beans on my thoughts just yet, I guess. We got writer Brian Michael Bendis, art by Oscar Basaluda.
I can't say it either. I can't say it either.
Oh, man, that's a mouthful. We got a Marvel Comics production here. Obviously, this was only a $3.99 book. This is the 19th issue. I think I posted all week long, like on all the tweets and stuff. It was 18, but 19. And Miles has been wrestling with some inner demons and losing. He has gone so far into the dark that he can't find his way back into the light. And that's the end of the solicit. I think I read it wrong there. Has he gone so far into the dark he can't find his way back into the light? And I don't, like we talked about a few episodes back, or Carl did something about solicits not always matching. I don't really have the impression he's been going super dark lately. He beat up Hammerhead pretty good for beating up his friend, but like it's been like one moment. So
I think from things we've seen, maybe Hammerhead,
the Captain America stuff,
yeah. But that solicit sounds more appropriate for the last issue than it does for this issue.
yeah. But anyway, we kick things off here. It's basically a dream sequence with Genki to start the issue. Pretty random. He's pretending to be the Avenging Avenger. Is that what it is? Yep.
Yeah.
That's his superhero name. And he's just going around saving, I don't know, stopping random crimes and saving people. That Miles wakes him up from this dream, and the running joke this issue is every time he gets woken up from something or surprised or scared, he hollers out Gargonzola.
He's been doing that for a while.
Some kind of cheese.
Yeah, it's a cheese.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. I'm like, what the? This dude's obsessed with some weird cheese. So yeah, after Genki's dream, he goes walking about in the. Where are they? Are they in the hospital still? Or are they in school right now?
They're in the hospital.
They're in school, right?
Well, they start off at the hospital, and then he makes his way texting. Like he makes his way to school, or it just shows him texting everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it here. He's leaving the hospital, getting on the bus, walking through, I don't know, the mall maybe on his way to school, or that might be just school with an escalator. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks like a mall.
Yeah. But while he's chatting about, or while he's walking about, he's chatting with some girl. And I had to ask you, and you had to remind me who this chick was, because I got the impression later on I think I'm mixing up the issues here. This issue with last issue. We'll get there, I guess, if it's in here. But I was under the impression this was the girl that revealed she liked Miles to him at first. But you're telling me it's the girl that does all the YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah. Danica. Her name is Danica.
Okay. Yeah, I can't keep them all straight.
And then the girl who does who's in the hospital is I forget.
Bombshell.
It's Bombshell. That's it. Yeah, Bombshell. She makes shit blow up.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I see the girl's name now on the top of his text messages. Well, while he's in bed here on the next page.
Yep.
So he's still chatting with her. He ends up passing out. And then this really creepy ass scene goes down where Genki wakes up in the middle of the night. He doesn't holler Gargonzola this time, but he does look over, and Fabio Goldballs is just like, I don't know what he's doing. Like he has to be brainwashed or something, right? I don't know. Why is he all sad? He saved Miles last issue.
Which was cool. I liked that part.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was, the part that I really liked about last issue, but I didn't understand why he would just be moping about here. sitting on the edge of his bed without sleeping, without being like brainwashed. That's the first thing my mind jumped to. So I don't know if you thought something different.
I have no there's no hints dropped in previous issues or anything. Like I have no idea. They just,
Yeah.
and I don't even get like when they wake up in the morning and find that message. Like I don't even get what that means. Like I have.
Yeah, it's poink. Is that what it says? Poink?
Yeah, it's the noise that
Okay.
it's the noise when he makes his gold balls. Like that's the noise they write on the
Okay.
paper. You know, like Snick for Wolverine's claws. They write that
Yeah,
poink
yeah.
for his gold balls. I
Okay.
have no idea what that means.
So yeah, I was because I didn't really pick up Gold Ball's the only time I've ever really read about his character for more than one issue at a time is in this series. So I'd never picked up on that point thing really. It backwards at first because I've been reading so much goddamn detective comics with Satana in it, reading shit backwards with her magic and stuff. I'm trying to read it backwards. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean?
I'm not too familiar with anything Gold Balls aside from what we see in this book because I think he was in Wolverine and the X-Men. I'm not sure. I know for sure
Yeah.
he was
He's a
in.
Bendis creation. I know
Yeah,
Bendis created him.
he was in Uncanny with Bendis, right? That's what it was. When Bendis was doing All New and Uncanny at the same time, he was in Uncanny, and I didn't read that yet, so.
So yeah, the boys wake up from the morning. They see Fabio's gone. They have no idea either why, and they don't really give us any hints. They kind of go on the offensive and start looking for him a little bit, and have no luck finding him. Out their day in school here and chatting with each other, Miles and Genki, and Miles mentions at one point how he misses just like playing video games and messing around with Genki, and kind of not really saying it outright, but little annoyed, I guess, that you could say Spider-Man always takes up all his free time to do like the dude stuff he always wants to do with his friends. Are these notes that keep popping up throughout the issue after the Gold Balls note from Genki to Miles?
Yeah,
these things like Genki is written down and sliding to Miles?
Yeah, they're passing them to each other in class. Well, one was
Yeah.
in lunch and then one was in class.
Off because I'm like, he's fucking sitting right across the table from him. What the hell is he sliding him a note for? I picked up on the one in class after that, but that's where I'm like, are these from Genki? Yeah, like it made me think.
Passes notes in fucking lunch.
Yeah, you just say that's when you cuss and everything. You get it all out during lunch. But yeah, Genki basically tells him like flat out in this note in class, like, dude, you shouldn't be Spider-Man anymore. Like, you should just be a bro and hang out,
And they mentioned that. Peter mentioned that in Spider-Man 2. That seems to be a theme Bendis is playing with between Spider-Man and here.
Yeah, it's kind of coming out of nowhere a little bit, but like I guess it's a logical place to take this character because he has feel like he's just meandered since he's been in this universe a little bit. So I'm like, dude, yeah, why are you Spider-Man as well? But anyway, we move on because that's pretty much the end of Genki and Miles for now, and we move on to Miles' mom and Miles' dad now getting back together, but sitting down together to have a just conversation. And this is the same nonsense about her being upset now that Jefferson lied to her instead of Miles. She smoothed everything over with Miles, and they're all good. But she's still like hanging this over Jefferson's head and saying, this isn't something you should have kept from me. Eventually leading to her just storming out again. Like this is at least the second time she's stormed out on Jefferson while they're quote unquote talking about things. You know what I'm saying? Like just
maybe the third, like
touch over dramatic there. But anyway, Jefferson doesn't chase after her this time. He's like, don't chase after her. That's not what she would want you to do. And then this creepy dude kind of like hanging out over his shoulder that we never get a glimpse of, basically just kind of starts talking shit to him. Did you have any hints of who this dude is? It reminds me of the dude from the Spider-Man 2 movie, like walking, Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, like walking in the shadows, this dude that they never ended up revealing who it was.
I think it's, I think this is an ex-SHIELD agent because he says, I just figure us ex-agents should be there for each other, which means that, like,
Is
he
it Nick
doesn't.
Fury? That's all I thought about.
And the thing, I have no clue, but the weird part about it is, like, even though he says ex-agents could stay together, and he's like, "Can I help you?" and like that doesn't throw you off right there. Like, you, an Shield agent, like another one comes by and like just like mentions that he's an ex-agent. Like, you think it's just happenstance that he ran into. He's probably following you. You don't even question it. The guy calls you a drama queen, walks away. It makes no sense. Like,
I know. Yeah, like I would chase that dude down too. Like I at least need to know who you are, dude. You're fucking
yeah.
listening to a conversation between me and baby moms over here. I need to know what's up.
The hat makes me think it's that guy, Dum Dum Dugan or something. It looks like a Dum Dum Dugan hat, you know?
Yeah, like an LMD or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like Dum Dum now that you say that. But yeah, then we jump back to Miles and Genki, and they're just continuing to talk. Like this is just a talkerific book. Just again, debating back and forth about this Spider-Man thing, like just doing different things throughout the day, like never really coming off topic.
This one was weird too, because at first I thought he was like, he's talking about how he doesn't get to do shit with his buddy shit anymore, and I'm like, why be Spider-Man? I thought he meant like quit being Spider-Man altogether. But right here, where he's talking about the cover band stuff, I'm thinking he's meaning like, why don't be Spider-Man, like be Spider something else. You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to be Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man,
It did start alluding to that towards the back end of this book here, like come up with a different name. It also reminded me a little bit of like those early issues of Spider-Man where Peter would leave his costume in the garbage and shit. So you're not really sure which way Genki's trying to push him. Like, because in the beginning he's like, don't be Spider-Man. And now he's like, be something different and don't follow directly in Spider-Man's footsteps, you know? So just teenage boys changing their mind, I guess. Then we move on to Hammerhead again. His head is so goddamn big in the last two issues.
Yeah,
you know,
it's fucking
like
huge.
it is just abnormally large. He is all forehead. He's like 11 head, literally like 2 hands. What were you gonna say?
No, it's an 11 head. That's funny.
Yeah, like I don't have enough fingers on my hands to cover the space in his forehead. But he goes walking into this secret hideout. Can you help me out with this chick? I have no idea who this is. Is her name
no clue.
Caress?
Because
he says Caress with a question mark. She goes back here, Hammer.
Ceres or something. I have no clue who she is.
It's either Circe. Greek. Yeah, I don't know. Because when I did Google it, now I was Googling it before we kick things off here. And Comic Find has something where it says a high-ranking warrior in the vampire claw sect. I don't know what the fuck that means. It's all like tied to Deadpool shit.
Weird.
So I really have no idea. And then I click on this other one for the Marvel Wiki, and it says Caress or Circe or whatever this name is a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So I don't know what this chick is, but she seems to have some sort of tech or something that makes you stronger, and she's made herself younger from what I've pulled out of this, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a drug or something that makes you like your best self, like, makes you feel like you could punch through the planet, but at the same time makes you like, I don't know, heals you or something, because he says you look 10 years younger or something, and I'm like, what does this thing do?
Yeah, and he wants to know the side effects, and she basically kind of dodges that question. She's like, of course there are, but you want to beat Spider-Man, so we don't really get the full effect of what's going to happen once Hammerhead unleashes this weapon or whatever he's got here. They go their separate ways. We join the boys back up. Just again, I don't really have much to say about Miles and Genki. Just continuing the same talk. It never really changes away from either Miles being guilty about being Spider-Man or should he change his name or what's he really doing. In the last panel, he finally tries to get changed and go stop some crime, and that doesn't work out for him because his ribs are still all beat up from the fight with Hammerhead. So he ends up just staying in with Genki for the night, and he gets some text messages from Lana at the end. That's the other girl's name. That I thought Genki liked last issue. She that must have been last issue. I'm mixing them both together now because I read them both this week. But so yeah, Lana is texting Miles, and she's been blowing his phone up, and he hasn't been responding for either of the last 2 issues that I've picked up on. And she's Bombshell, right?
Yeah, she's Lana's Bombshell.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. That issue ends like that. Very uneventful. Kind of just. Well, buy, borrow, or forget it altogether. I'll start, I guess, before I start ranting. This is like what I hate most about Bendis books, and it's like you get a few too many of these thrown in too often, and sometimes right on the heels of like a great issue, which was last issue was really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
With Gold Balls, ended up saving Miles' ass after the aftermath of the fight with Hammerhead, which happened in 17. So like we had this string of good issues where the series was starting to pick up and really hold my attention. And when I finished this one, I text you and I'm like, I'm fucking done with this book. I've calmed down a little bit since then. Because I know these issues just happen a lot in Bendis series, but
especially in this series,
they happened way too often since he's joined the 616, and like we're still dealing with all this mom drama, which I'm just not interested in at all. I told you today, I'm like, this is an awful thing to say, but I liked her better dead as a dead character, like giving Miles purpose and reason instead of just like an unneeded drama. Like was she all the way back to the beginning when she brought her mom in and her grandma was an asshole. And then they hired the private eye, Jessica Jones, and that whole drama. Like, we've been dealing with this mom shit forever. End it already, you know?
19 issues.
The art is awesome. Yeah, I love the art. Like, the covers have looked fantastic, and the next couple covers look great, too. I just looked those up. So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick around for a couple issues. I hear there's this Secret Six. Not Secret Six.
Sinister Six.
Yeah. God damn it. I read way too many comics. I'm mixing up names and everything.
I know how you feel.
So yeah, there's that coming up. So that's, pretty interesting, and that should be a plenty of action, and that's really what I'm trying to hang out for. But this was not an issue worth buying or even borrowing. Like you could legit skip this issue in the series, hop on for 20 and be a-okay. So I'm leaning towards the forget altogether, really, even though there were some I enjoyed and the art was great. It's not something you need to have in a collection if you're on a tight budget, especially. What do you think?
Well, I want to echo your comments about the cover and the art. The Patrick Brown covers have been great for this series.
Yeah.
Oscar Baziluda, whatever his name is, he's been great too. He's leaving soon, and Nico Leon, the person who did the art during Civil War II, which, like, between Sarah Pacelli, Oscar, whatever his name is, the guy who did this issue, and Nico Leon, they all have similar styles to each other, so the art's very cohesive throughout the run. But I agree, like Bendis does this a lot, but he mostly does, out of all of his titles, and I read all of them, he is a fiend about it in Spider-Man for some reason. Like, it's like he has to get it all out of his system in this book. And I agree, like the last couple issues were really good. They were starting to pick up. I felt like they were leading to something, and then I get more of them sitting around talking to each other for a whole entire issue. And then the stuff with his mom just so fucking boring. It's all boring. And I felt like it really went nowhere. And the most interesting part about it was Hammerhead at the end getting that tech or formula or whatever it is that, because he wants to beat the shit out of Miles. So so you're going to see another big blowout between them. I agree. This is a forget it altogether. You could skip this. It's completely unnecessary. I have every single issue of this, and when an issue like this comes out, it feels like a slap in the face. Like,
yeah. It really does. I was really annoyed after I finished this. I'm like, man, I didn't get anything out of this issue. I got more, like more questions raised, and there was so much dialogue, and none of them were answered. I was just really frustrated by the whole thing, you know.
I
Like,
was
who's
bored
this
reading it.
Cirrus or Cersei or Caress chick? Like, well, who the fuck is this? You got all this dialogue on the page, and you can't tell me anything. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that's my biggest problem with Bendis books, and why I get so frustrated, because like I just feel like too many times I'm spending money to read things I'm not enjoying, and it frustrates me. I know I'm not alone in that regard. Sometimes I just Google Bendis sucks on the internet to feel better about myself. But
I feel that way about a lot of his stuff, but
yeah,
Defenders has been
like,
really
he does
good
have
so
some
far.
good books too. He's done a lot of good work in the past, but like lately, I feel like, I don't know, he's on cruise control or something with this book.
So he puts his energies elsewhere, and like it seems like he has like a compulsion to do these conversations, and I think Spider-Man is the playground where he acts them all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does. I don't know. It wasn't as bad this issue, but sometimes like some of the dialogue is just really cringeworthy. This was just like a lot of nothing dialogue, so there wasn't much to be cringeworthy about or at. But yeah, like, I need to be done with Miles' mom, and like, leave your husband or don't leave your husband. Make a decision already. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to get a fresh writer on this book, like someone like he's done like 80 issues of Miles. Like he created them. Let somebody else take the reins for a while. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
but let's talk about X-Men, shall we? We're gonna get into book 2 of the night here, just after this quick break. All right, I'm gonna send you a new invite here for this one, because we've probably hit about an hour, and usually if it goes a little over an hour, I have trouble converting shit. So,
all right, cool.
All right, I'll send you a new one here in a minute.